A very good morning to my dear students. Welcome to the next session of class 6. I am Satish Kumar, your science teacher. In the previous class, we have learnt about matter. Matter is made up of particles. Matter has volume, that means matter occupies space, and we call it as volume. And we learnt about mass, the amount of matter that is present in the amount of matter which is present in any substance, we call it as mass. And still we learnt about pull forces. Yes, pull forces are also known as, very good, force of attraction. And we also discussed about some important states of matter. Actually, I used to say about 5 states of matter, but according to your class, it is enough to learn about the 3 states of matter. That is, what are 3 states? Solids, liquids, and gases. Isn't it? Now, when coming to the class part, in the previous class we learnt about one more important concept is behavior of particles. Behavior of particles. When particles, what that means, the way in which the particles move and interact with each other said to be known as the behavior of particles. And in the previous class part, we have also learnt about the behavior of particles in solids, liquids, and gases. We have learnt about in solids, liquids, and gases, isn't it? Now, what is the difference we notice in the 3 states of matter with respect to different properties? In solids, we have a regular arrangement of particles, whereas in liquid, the arrangement is somewhat different when compared to the solids. Whereas in gases, the molecules are far apart. They were not closely intimated as in the case of solids, or somewhat in the case of liquids, right? And we learnt about shape of solids, shape of liquid, and the shape of gases. The shape of the solids are definite. Solids have a definite shape, whereas liquids take the shape of a container. They doesn't possess any proper shape, but whatever container we use to place the liquids, they will take that shape. And when it comes to the gases, gases do not have a definite shape. And one more thing we learnt about volume. The volume of solid is fixed. Particular volume of, if you consider a particular object, its volume remains fixed. Very good. And then we learnt about liquids. Liquids also have a definite volume like solids. Whatever container you take to change the liquid from one container to another container, the volume doesn't remains. That means the volume doesn't changes. So volume remains same. And come to the gases, whatever container you take for the gas to fill it, the gaseous molecules or the gas particles occupy the entire container. If you take the same quantity of gas into another container, which is somewhat having more volume when compared to the previous container, there also the gaseous particles, as they are very far apart, and because of that reason, they will occupy the entire container. So we can say that volume of the gases were not fixed. So gases do not have fixed volume. Okay, my dear students, and we learnt about pull forces, or the force of attraction. The force of attraction in solids is very strong. Because of that, the particles in the solid substance are tightly packed and have a different arrangement as we saw in the arrangement of molecules in solids. And then in liquids, the force of attraction is weaker when compared to that of solids. So that the liquid molecules are somewhat far when compared to that of solids. When you come to the gases, the particles, how they behave, the particles, far apart, because the force of attraction between the particles of the gases or the gaseous state substance is very weak when compared to that of liquids to that of solids. So the force of attraction between the particles is high in, yes, solids. Very low or very weak in gases. Between these two, the moderate force of attraction between the particles takes place in liquids. Okay, my dear students, and in the last class, we have discussed about all these properties, and at the end, I have said you that in the next part you are going to discuss about change of states in the matter, or how matter changes from one state to another state. If a matter is in solid state, then how it can change into liquid, or how it can change into gases. These are all we are going to discuss about in this class part. Okay, my dear students. Now, so this is what our today's topic: change in the states of matter. Remember one important thing here: a change in the state occurs only when the pull forces between the particles, that is either in solids or liquids or gases, changes, or I can also say either they become stronger or become weaker. If the pull forces between the particles become stronger, then the matter is in the form of solid, or it changes to the form of solid. If the pull forces become somewhat weak when compared to that of solids, you can say the matter has been changing from solid to liquid. So, because of the pull forces between the molecules, there can be a change in the state of a matter. There can be a change in the state of a matter. Okay, my dear students. So, these are all we are going to discuss about in this class. Before that, we can take some examples. Ice cubes, which were generally we can prepare ice cube from, if you have refrigerator, in the deep freeze, if you place some amount of water in the tray, you're having ice trays, then what happens is, say after some certain period of time, the water which is in the liquid state in the tray changes into solid state. You can see the ice cubes. Here the change of state takes place from solid to, from liquid to solid. If you consider the part of ice cubes, take some ice cubes from the ice tray and place in some beaker. Say after some few minutes of time, or some certain period of time, you can notice that the solid ice pieces which were, that is, the solid ice cubes against which were in the solid state, they were gradually changing into water, that is liquid state. So here you can observe two type of changes in state, from solid to liquid and liquid to solid. Okay, and these changes can be takes place only when there is a gain in energy or lose in energy. So the energy plays an important role. Why? Because as we have already said, the pull forces are forces of attraction between the particles. So if you consider solid object, the force of attraction between the particles is very high, isn't it? So if we break the force of attraction, then only the particles move apart. So we can have the liquids, and further we can have gases, isn't it? Let me discuss it now. So to break down, we should spend some energy. So when a certain state of matter gains energy, there will be a change in the state, or we can say there will be a change in the force of attraction between the molecules, or I can say particles. And the you can say the converse way. A certain state of matter is taken, that is an object which is in one state has been taken, and if you are going to remove the energy from it, you are not supplying, you are removing the energy from it. That means it is losing its energy. Then what happens whenever the particles are losing its energy? They become the force of attraction between the particles becomes high and strong, like in the state of solid. Okay, my dear students. So your force of attraction between the molecules, because of the gain in energy or the lose in energy, plays an important role for the matter to change from one state to another state. Okay, my dear students. For example, you are not taken anything since morning up to afternoon till lunchtime. Then how do you feel? You feel very weak. If you take some amount of diet, a good amount of food or snacks, whatever it may be. What happens? You will get energy. Because of that energy, you will get active. Because of the energy, you will get active. Okay, my dear students? The same way, when particle gains energy, they become active. When the particle loses energy, they become inactive. That means they comes closer and you can have a state from gas to liquid and liquid to solid. So now you are going to learn about change of state of a matter from one form to another form. Let us take one more example. Your mother washes your clothes. So after washing, what she will do? She will squeeze the clothes for the water which is present to come out. Then, does the cloth become dry? No, still there is some amount of wet content present in the cloth. Then, in what way she can make it dry? Yes, she will place it in the presence of sunlight. So when she used it to place in the presence of sunlight, because of the sunlight is a form of energy, the energy will be absorbed by the water molecules present in the wet cloths and they gain energy so that the particles move apart, so they change into vapors. Ultimately, after a certain period of time, you can have the cloths become dry clothes. Okay, my dear students. So now let us come to the concept how the matter changes from one state to another state. Let us consider an example of ice cubes. Sir, ice cubes are in which state, sir? Yes, solid state. Ice cubes are in which state? Solid state. And now I am going to supply some amount of energy to the solid ice cubes. Okay, my dear students. Okay, now of heat energy to it. So what it is doing now? It is, so it gains energy, or I can say, we can write on gaining energy. So what you are supplying? So the bottom you are writing clearly. What you are supplying? Heat energy. I have taken some pieces of or ice cubes in a beaker and I am going to place it on a stove so that I am going to supply some amount of heat energy. So when ice cubes are used to supply heat, and that means they are going to gain energy. When they gain energy, what happened is the ice cube slowly starts changing into water. Finally, will get water content, which is, we can write it in the state of liquid. So your solid state has been converted into which state? Liquid state. Okay? Solid state has been converted into liquid state. Isn't it? Now I am going to supply further energy. Still I am continuing the process of heating. So again here on gaining heat energy, further gaining of heat energy. This liquid substance on further gaining heat energy or gaining energy or heat energy, nothing is happened. Okay. On gaining energy, what happens? This water finally changes into vapors. Water finally changes into vapors, which we call it as gaseous state. This state of matter is said to be called as in gaseous state. Okay. So here solid substance has been converted into liquid substance, that is liquid state, and yes, this liquid substance is again changes into gaseous state. So here the process in which a solid substance is changing into liquid substance, that is, we call it as melting. This process to be called as melting. So melting is a process in which a solid converts into liquid. Okay, that is a process to be called melting. So one, here you can say the ice cubes melted into water. Okay, solid ice cubes melt into water. Now from here onwards, again on supply of this, again some amount of heat energy that will be absorbed by this liquid substance and it converts into vapors, that is nothing but gaseous state. You can also say vapors or steam, that will be explained later. So vapors, you can say this is called evaporation. It's called evaporation. Okay, here I use it to say one more phenomenon. The change of a liquid substance into gaseous substance and the continuous supply of heat energy, we can also say it as boiling. Now, sorry, say it as boiling. See, evaporation takes place at any temperature. For example, take some amount of water in a bottle or a glass tumbler. Simply you pour it on the floor. Pour it on the floor. Switch on the fan. And you check it after some amount of time. You can see the water disappears. It is not the magic. The water has been changed into vapors here. This is what we call it as evaporation. When it comes to boiling, the boiling process is also the change of a state from liquid to gas. That is, you can also steam. Pressure cooker, you can able to observe the steam. In that case, the boiling takes place only at a certain temperature. So, there is a lot of difference between boiling and evaporation. Evaporation takes place at any temperature, whereas boiling takes place at a fixed temperature. And here both the cases you can observe the change in the state from liquid to gas. Remember that? But here that we have two type of process. As your drying of your wet cloths in the presence of sunlight comes under evaporation. Changing of water in a beaker, placing it on a stove, you can see when it is closed with a lid, after certain amount of time, the lid uses to shake it, or it uses to make it some changes in it, and then it falls down because of the change in the or increase in the water level as well as the presence of vapor, or you can say steam. Okay, my dear students. So, when substance gains energy, they change their state. You can see from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. You can say this is a melting process, the process in which a solid substance changing into liquid substance. That is ice pieces converting into liquid. Whereas when water is changing into vapor, you are having two type of phenomena you can say. One is evaporation, another one is boiling. This evaporation takes place at any time. Sorry, at any temperature also you can say. You can see evaporation of the water from lakes, rivers, seas, ocean, ponds, which will be in the state of clouds. And when cool air touches to it, it undergoes one more phenomena. We'll discuss it now, and again we'll get the water form. That is rainfall. Okay, my dear students. So you can have two type of process. One is melting from solid to liquid. From liquid to gas, we have boiling as well as evaporation. Boiling takes place at a fixed temperature. Evaporation takes place at any temperature. So once you note down, my dear students, then I will go to the next part. So I hope you have noted down this. Okay, my dear students. Now consider, you're going to write down the same topics, same substance I have taken earlier. Solid ice cubes, liquids and gases. So let's write me again those. That is solid state. We obtain water from it by supplying heat energy, that is liquid state, and then we obtain vapors, isn't it? That is gaseous state. Okay, now, so in the previous class, just now we have explained about the change in state from solid to liquid. It's known as melting, and from liquid to vapor we call it as evaporation and boiling. The difference is temperature. So for your knowledge of the class, For your class, you can have the knowledge of evaporation is enough. But even though boiling also should be learnt, should be known to you, that's why I explained that topic. Now, the same process if, so in all the three cases we observed in the earlier, that energy is gained by it. Now, I have taken these vapors. I can able to explain a simple example. Just now I told when used to boil water in a beaker by closing it with a lid. Okay, or even your mother cooks food by closing it with a lid, and that means cooking of vegetables with the help of some water content in it. You notice it, the boiling we can say. So if we keep a lid on it, and once if you open that lid, you can see on the lid, say within a fraction of time, you can observe some water droplets formed on them. That is, the water which is changed into the vapors are again converting into liquid state. So, where the vapors have been changing into again liquid state, and what process here is nothing but by losing energy. In the earlier case, we have discussed about gaining energy. Yes, they gained energy and the state of matter has been changed from one form to another form. Okay. By losing energy. So they loses energy as we exposed the lid from that particular temperature content to the normal atmospheric temperature content. So some amount of energy has been lost out by the particular vapor molecules and they change to state of liquid, that is water. You can able to observe on the plate. You can just now, if your mother cooks food, you can observe this. We can witness the phenomenon of this process from vapors to what is it? Water. And this process, I'll explain what is said to be called. This process has to be called condensation. This process has to be called condensation. Sir, for this one more experiment, one more example also we can do. You can take a good cool drink bottle, anything, either cool water bottle or cool drink bottle, and you place it on a table or somewhat. See, after a few minutes of time, you can able to observe the water droplets on it. Here is nothing but the vapor molecules which are present in the air surrounding this water bottle undergo collision. Collision means they will hit the surface of the bottle. In the meantime, they lose energy and the gaseous state of matter, that is vapors, change into liquid state. That is also example of condensation. Now, this water, you have taken some quantity of water, as I told you in the earlier examples, you place it in a tray and keep it under deep fridge. So after a certain period of time, this water which is in the liquid state converts into ice cubes in solid state, which is in solid state. Here what happens? Here also, again, you can say on losing energy. On losing energy, I can say here on losing energy, you can add no problem. Or loses energy, anything you can write. So on losing energy converts into ice cubes, which we call it as in the solid state. And this process we call it as freezing. We call it as freezing. What is the process named as? Freezing. Or you can also say solidification. You can also say solidification. But in general we call it as freezing. That's why we call refrigerator and instead deep freezer. Freezer, that is the meaning of it. A changing of a state of liquid substance to the state of solid. That is ice cubes. Okay, my dear students. So, matter changes from one state to another state when there is a gain in energy or when there is a lose in energy. When they gain energy, also there will be a change in state. At the same time, when they lose energy also, the change of the state takes place. Okay, my dear students. So, this is a very important thing. And one more state is also there, which you will learn in your higher classes. Just for sake, I will say you that the change in the solid substance directly into gaseous substance without undergoing the liquid state. We cannot even witness that. Directly it changes into the gaseous state. Such type of process, we call it as sublimation. We call it as sublimation, which will end in your higher studies. Sublimation. Sublimation is a process in which a solid substance directly changes to the vapor state. You can take the best example as naphthalene balls, which will be used as moth repellents in our house. Inside the cloths will keep. So after some days after, we can witness there is no naphthalene balls present inside the cloths, which we kept in there. The change of state from solid to gaseous, directly you can call it as sublimation. But this will learn in higher classes. And with respect to this, change of substance from gaseous state to liquid state, which state? Which process? Condensation. How does this takes place? By losing some energy. Whereas the liquid substance can change into the solid substance again by losing some energy, and this process we call it as freezing. Okay, my dear students. So solid to liquid, which process we can call? Melting. How it can take place? Yes, by gaining energy. Very good. Liquid to vapors or gaseous state? Yes, again by gaining energy. Which process we can call? Evaporation. If we say at a fixed temperature means boiling. Okay. Now comes to converse process. Gaseous state to liquid state. By again should happen by only losing energy. And the process called condensation. Now liquid state to solid state. Again by losing energy. The process known as freezing. Okay, my dear students. So matter changes from one state to another state either by gaining energy or losing energy. If they gains energy, the particles will get energy because of it, they will get activated. Because of the activation of the molecules, they move somewhat far apart so that there is a change in the state of matter. In the converse process, if the matter loses energy, the particles become inactive and they come close to each other, so the force of attraction will be high when compared to the former case, so that the state of change can be takes place. Okay, my dear students, note down this. So in this class we learnt about so many processes. What is the first one? Melting. Next, evaporation. One more process, same concept, boiling. Next, from these two processes again, condensation and freezing. One more extra phenomenon also explained that we learnt in higher class, that is from directly from solid state into gaseous state, that is called sublimation. Okay, my dear students, example, I said that concept of naphthalene balls. You can take the example of naphthalene balls. Okay, so by now we have completed the introduction part. This is a general topic we have discussed for the first two videos, my dear students. When it comes to the next class part, we are going to learn about a very interesting topic, that is the crux of the matter. Crux of the matter. Same, it comes under matter, but in that topic, we are going to learn about different types of materials and their properties. So that is the main thing we are going to discuss about, that is properties of the materials. What are the different properties of the materials? We will learn in detail in coming to the further classes. Till then, bye. Students, you have to note down this in your running notes part, okay? Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. Till then, bye.